football shirts can be a force for good. And today, we're meeting the team showcasing exactly that in both the physical and digital worlds. Hello and welcome back to Behind the Chevrons, the show which explores the stories behind the great football shirts of the world. My name is Phil and I'll be your host again, and as you'll see in the backdrop, we're back in our London studio to talk today with AKFC, Alive and Kicking FC, a team with a powerful story and of course a great set of football shirts. And joining me today is Ben from AKFC. So Ben, welcome to the show, how are you?
Very well, thanks, lovely to be here.
Pleasure to have you, mate, and really excited to learn about AKFC and see the shirts. Just as we kick off, who are AKFC and what's your role at AKFC?
So AKFC, they're a global community of supporters that have come together with one common purpose, which is to help address inequality all through football. So simply by pulling on the shirt, you're essentially creating a fairer world.
Right.
I think AKFC was born out of the charity. So AK stands for Alive and Kicking, which is the charity.
Great.
And we had a fantastic network of supporters, and we wanted to find a way that could bring them together.
Yeah.
And as a charity where football is the core,
it
felt like it made sense to create a team. And obviously with a team you need a shirt.
Yes.
And it has to be a beautiful shirt. So that's how it all started. And Alive and Kicking, the charity, essentially has three key goals, which we summarise as make, play and live.
Nice.
So the make side of things is we actually produce footballs, which I think we're going to see a bit of later.
Yeah.
So we produce beautiful footballs. I'm slightly biased. But what that enables us to do is to create ethical jobs for adults from vulnerable job groups. Right. And going back to that idea of inequality, that's helping address inequality in employment. The second element is play, which is something we all have the right to do, no matter where we are. So that's about giving young people and communities right across the globe access to sport. And then the final one is live, and that's living happy and healthy lives. So that's giving, again, people who haven't necessarily had access to health education, health services, healthcare. And it all comes back to that idea of addressing inequality.
Yeah. So Ben, you mentioned the footballs. Before we get onto the shirts, we did have a couple of the footballs that you brought. I've got one underneath the table. Let's look at that now, because it is a beautiful, beautiful football. And if I just show this here, Ben, what is the story behind this design? It is absolutely great to look at.
It's amazing, isn't it? So what we're able to do, so all of our balls they're handmade, they're hand screen printed, and that gives you the opportunity to be, really innovative with the way that they look. So this is actually a ball designed by a design studio in South Africa called Muti.
Nice.
So this is one of our illustrator balls. And yeah, that's the kind of great thing with us. We bring out many balls every year, many different designs. We collaborate with different organisations and individuals, and they're able to put pieces of art onto a ball.
Well, that's it. It is literally a piece of art, isn't it? It really is. Yeah, I mean, we've got one on behind us as well on the shelves, and it could be something that you could have up as a piece of art. And so the footballs, that kind of came first through Alive and Kicking, is that right? Yeah,
so going right back to the origins of Alive and Kicking, we were actually started to give young people access to sport. That was the key thing. It all came from ball donations that were being sent to schools in Kenya, which is a great thing to do. They were being sent from places like the UK, but the balls just wouldn't last on tougher ground. So it's like, how can we make sure that young people get access with a good quality ball for much longer? Let's make balls ourselves. So it all came from that, and then the rest of the impact around employment and health was built on it as we grew.
Brilliant. So now let's talk about shirts, and before we get on to the great Hummel shirts, there's actually a couple of shirts that you brought from the early days of AKFC, and we've got one here, and this, like the ball, is a stunning, colourful design. So Ben, I'd love to hear firstly kind of how you came to design this shirt and anything that you like about the design particularly.
It's brilliant, isn't it? It's really bright, and I think that's where it all came from. AK, if you look on our, if you look at our brand, you look at our website, everywhere you'll see these bright colours, like that vibrancy, and that really comes from, the balls that you've seen, the ball designs, the places in which we work, and we wanted to bring that onto a football shirt. And we had an amazing designer locally in London, actually, Amy Capstick, who's designed shirts for clubs like Romance FC as well.
Oh, great.
And she came up with this beautiful design. And this is how AK started. I kind of mentioned earlier about wanting to begin with a shirt,
Yes,
so people
yes.
could wear the AKFC colours.
So this is the first one. This is
the very first one. Yeah.
Nice. And I love that you mentioned Make, Play, Live. We've got that as a detail in there. Really, really nice.
And you'll see that theme later as well as we go through the other shirts.
Yeah. So this is 2019, year one. I guess this is quite a special kit for those that were supporting you in the early days.
The originals, yeah.
Yeah, the hardcore.
That's it.
Fantastic. So this is just a taster. There's more to come. If I now put this away, and we'll see the current AKFC shirts. And here we have the white AKFC shirt, and it is absolutely stunning. There's so much I want to talk about, Ben. The first time I saw this on social media, I just had to find out more about it, and I loved finding out the design. Let's now share that with you guys. Ben, talk to you about this one. As I say, there's a lot in here, so many details, but maybe just the origins of this, how you came to work with Hummel even. How did that come about?
You're right, there's a lot of features, isn't there? And I think for us, as AKFC grew and more supporters started to join the cause, we started to think about, how we could really bring that shirt to life. And we looked at brands, and Hummel just stood out. I think with the heritage, the history, the famous shirts that they've made. Yeah. And you'll see a bit of and there is certainly a shirt that this might link to.
Yeah,
and we might talk about. But and the other programs that they're running around, Karma projects, it just felt like a really good match. So for us, Hummel was the way to go.
Amazing. And you mentioned the design, which it was the first thing that drew my eye actually. There's a very it's a Denmark 86 vibe. Now again, how did that come about? Was that something that you guys kind of said, or Hummel, a kind of collaborative thing? It's a really nice touch.
I think with it being the first shirt with Hummel, we wanted to pay a bit of kind of a link to that for sure.
Yeah.
But there's actually a lot of inspiration here. So first and foremost, it was designed by a great design agency, Hey Big Man, and a guy called Mark, who brought this shirt together. But there were so many other inspirations as well. So you'll see, obviously, we've got the flags of the main countries in which we work. Down here, which may look like a stripe, it's actually that Make, Play, Live tagline.
Yeah, you can see. And are these different languages?
So we've got the main languages of the countries in we work. So Nyanja, Zambia, Swahili in Kenya.
Yeah.
So
nice.
and the key for that for us was making sure that the impact was always linked to the shirt. So yes, this is a beautiful shirt, but it's also helping address inequality. It's helping create jobs. It's helping give young people access to sport. It's helping give people access to healthcare. So that's kind of how it all began. Yeah. And then we've got obviously this lovely floral pattern here and on the back.
Oh, that's good. Should we turn over? Because I love this pattern. This is like a wallpaper. It's just from a design perspective. And what is this kind of particularly relevant, the kind of fauna here?
Absolutely. So what we did is we work with thousands of young people every year through our sport and health programs. And what we wanted to do was involve them. So we had young people in Ghana, Zambia and Kenya putting down designs, choosing colours, and a lot that came out was the flora and fauna of the countries in which we work. So these are the things that you'll see if you're kicking a ball about in Nairobi or kicking a ball about in Accra. And that's where it all came from.
So good. The colours are gorgeous. Just the composition of it is wonderful. And this is just one of a couple of shirts, because we've now got the Midnight shirt, which we'll take a look at. And here we have the Midnight edition, the Midnight shirt. Maybe it's even better. I thought the previous one was great, but this is so nice as well. Obviously we've talked a lot about the design already, but talk to me about kind of the thought behind having this version of the shirt.
Well, I think first and foremost we need to talk about the heated debates that constantly go on between AKFC supporters, between AKFC staff, between beneficiaries of which shirt is the best.
Which is better.
And it's difficult.
Which is your favourite?
I think
on the spot.
I've got to go for this.
This one, okay.
I don't know why.
Nice.
For some reason,
it is good. It is so good.
It is, isn't it? I'm a terrible goalkeeper, and for some reason I kind of associate this, I don't know why, with a goalkeeper top. So I like to wear this in goal.
Yeah.
But for me, it's definitely this one.
It's gorgeous. Let us know in the comments which you prefer between the white or the Midnight. But Ben, another thing which we have to talk about, and I've noticed on the sleeves, you see we've got a couple of kind of sleeve sponsors, if you like. We've got the Make, Play, Live logo, which looks great. But on the other side, we've got EA Sports. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, you've got a bit of a story with EA Sports. Talk to us about that, how your shirts came to be in FIFA.
So we wanted to find a way of grow awareness, to grow awareness of obviously the cause, the team, because that helps us increase our impact. And we got in touch with EA Sports and said, hey, we've we've got this beautiful kit. And I'll be honest, I think it was the kit that got us in.
Right.
The cause,
right.
of course, is very important, but for them, they saw that kit immediately and they thought that's going to look great in game. So we're very lucky to be in FIFA 21 in their Ultimate Team mode. I'll be honest, I'm not a great FIFA player, so I haven't got massive understanding of it all. But we were in the Ultimate Team.
That's great.
And then this year we'll be going into Volta.
Right, excellent.
So you'll see this shirt and the white shirt in game, which is really exciting. And I think for us, it's been fantastic because, you know, ultimately, the more people that see the shirts, the more people that are likely to join and become a supporter that might get the shirt themselves in real life. One of the key things we wanted to do this year was have some kind of activation that could bring supporters who are playing in game closer to the impact that we're making on our programs. So what's really exciting is you can actually unlock this kit in Volta, and your challenge to players is to score the best goal you can, or perhaps perform a great skill with the shirt on. Post that on social media, tag us at We Are AKFC. And what we were able to do with that is for every piece of content that's uploaded, we can give 5 young people access to sport.
Amazing.
So that kind of impact, again, going back to that whole thing around addressing inequality, we want to give people who haven't had access to sport access. It's that simple. So the more people that get involved, the more young people will play.
And Ben, am I right in saying these first 2 shirts that we've seen are just the first of the Hummel partnership? What more can we look forward to in the coming years?
Yeah, the first of many. We're actually already in the process of putting together our next shirt for the 22-23 season. Amazing. And even thinking about the season beyond that as well, because for us what's really important is to engage as many people as possible in the design. So that could be beneficiaries of programs, it could be our staff, and of course, AKFC supporters.
Amazing. I'm really looking forward to seeing the shirts. And importantly as well, how can we support AKFC? How can anyone at home support you guys?
That's a great question. Get the shirts. It's that simple. So you can become a member of AKFC, so a long-term supporter, or you can buy the shirt from Alive and Kicking's website, or of course you can get the shirt from the Hummel website too. Brilliant.
So a couple of ways you can get hold of the shirt, guys. And we're also doing a special giveaway for this episode. All the details are in the description. Ben, thank you so much for coming on. It's been great to chat.
It's been brilliant. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this closer look at AKFC. I certainly enjoyed seeing the designs in person and hearing about the cause too. But that's all we've got time for in today's episode. We'll see you next time for Behind the Chevrons.